Hello everyone. So I'm Parul, and in this video series of process management in operating system, I'm going to explain you some basic theoretical concept of a process in operating system. Okay, so these are the topics that I'm going to cover in this video series of process. So let's start. First question is, what is process? Okay, so can you define in your terms what is process? Yes or no? So let's say if you are if you have written this program in Turbo C, okay, in C language, and you have written just inside this main function printf hello world, okay, and after that I have compiled this program and compiled successfully. After that I'm going to run this program, okay. So you got your output, that is hello world, okay. So what is process? Process is program under execution, okay. So basically process is nothing but whenever a certain program is under execution, executed by CPU or a processor, okay, both are same. So this is called process. So process is an abstraction of a running program, okay. Abstraction, that means I can say summary kind of, okay. So process is an abstraction, it is an abstract form of a running program, and there are various parameters related to process. For example, in simple way, each process have an process ID, okay, and they have their own certain parameters related to each process that we will discuss in later on this video series. Process is an instant of an executing program, including the current value of the program counter. So first parameter was process ID. After that you got this one, program counter. After that registers and variable. Let's say I was just running that simple C program, okay, and you can see there are various variables that I have declared, but it is just for your purpose. But actually while execution of this program, it may require certain variables and registers, okay, and but obviously program counter. Each process has its own virtual CPU, okay. So that was the concept of a process. You just need to remember this definition. Program under execution is called process, okay. Now there is one word related to process, that is multi-programming. Whenever we talk about process execution, okay, this multi-programming is the word that comes always, it is certain, okay. So let's understand what is multi-programming. Okay, this handsome guy is working on some software, and simultaneously he is also listening music, okay. So how this computer can do this? So okay, so it is just a basic example of a multi-programming. So now let's understand what is multi-programming. The real CPU switches back and forth from process to process. Obviously in our system we have limited resource, okay, and it is synonym, it is general case. You have in your system, you have single CPU, okay, but still you are executing multiple programming. So does it mean that your CPU is capable to execute multiple programs at a time? No, but CPU switch back and forth from process to process for its execution, okay. Now the rapid switching back and forth is called multi-programming, okay. The number of process loaded simultaneously in memory is called degree of multi-programming. Now in second point I have mentioned rapid switching back and forth is called multi-programming. Does it really? Is that mean? Yes. Why? Because generally multi-programming, that means in memory we can load more than one process, okay, more than one process I can load it into my memory, and after that CPU is allocated to each process according to some scheduling policies, okay, and that we call as a multi-programming. So over here this term comes degree of multi-programming. So you just need to remember the number of processes loaded simultaneously. Okay, this word is necessary while defining degree of multi-programming. For example, if I have a 2 GB of RAM, okay, 2 GB of RAM, then it is possible, then it is maybe it is possible that degree of multi-programming for that system is, let's say, 100. That means this CPU, it can perform 100 tasks simultaneously, but not at a single time, but these processes are loaded into main memory. Now multi-programming execution, let's see. Okay, for example, you have three processes, P1, P2 and P3. Okay, and okay, over here you can see in this memory area these processes are loaded. Okay, and this is physical program counter processor. So this program counter hold a value of address from where CPU has to start executing the program. Okay, so it is just that point. CPU is free right now, it is not running any process. Okay, and no data in physical program counter. So let's say this CPU is allocated to process P1. So what does it mean? From this logical program counter, that is it is of process P1, it is loaded into physical program counter. Okay, so what does it mean? Let's say this process P1's instruction start from 111, so it is loaded into this physical program counter and its execution will be start from that point. Okay, so CPU is allocated to process P1 and data of process P1 is copied from its logical program counter to physical program counter. After that process P2 comes. Okay, and P1 is back to the, that means it's just as it is. Okay, after that logical program counter of P2 is copied to physical program counter. Okay, and CPU starts its execution. Okay, after that process P3. Okay, now it's turn the process P3 got turn and logical program counter of process P3 is copied into physical program counter. Okay, so this is just a concept of a multi-programming and how multiple processes are executed by a single CPU. Now you just need to remember one point. If though there are hundreds of processes in RAM, CPU can only execute one at a time. Okay, but switching between processes are very fast that we cannot differentiate. Okay, so it's just a scenario. I hope you understood it. And so this is the basic concept of process. Please watch my next video in which I have explained process model. Bye bye.